My name is John Goettl. I'm 74 years old, diagnosed with colon cancer. It's going on 6 years. I didn't have any particular signs of anything being wrong. My doctor, bless her heart, she was on my case to, you need to go down and get a colonoscopy examination. And she had been on my case to get that done for a couple of years. And in her office, they were transforming their office from manual to a computer, and the computer demanded that I have a colon examination. So she made the appointment to go to the to have the examination. She said, "I'm going to make the appointment for you, and you've got to go." So I went, and not expecting anything to be wrong at all. After the examination was over with, she came out and she said that you got something going on, and they in fact showed me a picture of it. It was a tumor about as big as your finger, and it was about 6 inches up into my from my rectum up into my colon. And she said that they would send it out to be biopsied, but in her experience, just from looking at it, she could tell that it was probably malignant, and I should be prepared for that. Well, I just asked my son, I said, well, let's not say anything to anybody until we get the exact determination from the biopsy, because there will be a million questions and everybody will want to know all kinds of things. So I said, just please don't tell anybody. And it was funny that when I came home, and what do you do when you get that kind of news? I came home and I just started gathering up paperwork and family pictures and things that I should have organized over my lifetime that I could have in a proper order to pass on. And I just did that. It probably took me a day, and I did those things. And I did not have a will, nor did I have a trust for my real estate and things that I have. And those are the things that I should have done, but always put off. And so I called an attorney I knew and told him what my situation was. This probably was a day or so later after I got the news that the tumor was malignant. And I told him that I probably would be having surgery, within a week or so, and that my affairs were not in order, and could he help me out and get something done right away. Then we told the family what was going on, and actually the doctor my surgeon was Dr. Kassir in Scottsdale, and he was highly recommended. And I think he was one of the surgeons that does colorectal work at Scottsdale Shea Hospital, and that's where I went. And they did, in fact, resect me, and I was in the hospital not too long. I was in about maybe 3 or 4 days, and I remember they have a special nurse that takes care of new patients that have to have colostomies. And she came to visit me, and I kind of got to be friends with her a little bit. And I was teasing her. I said, I don't need one of those. There's no colostomy here, because I don't need it. I'm getting out of here, and everything's great. And so I did. I went home, and things were fine. I have a daughter that is married and lives in Canada. And she came and stayed with me for a couple of weeks. And in that time, I all of a sudden got these terrible pains in my stomach, and I got shakes so bad. It was just like I was just freezing to death. So we, of course, went back to the hospital, and what had happened is that resection had broken loose in there, and then that was dumping, fecal waste all over inside of my body. And then I was in deep trouble at that point. They took me into emergency surgery. They opened me back up again, and I don't know now, I forget, but I think he said they washed me out with, I don't know, was it 10 or 15 gallons of sodium solution to try to wash everything out. But he said that we never get it all. There will always be something left in there. And then I think I was very close to death at that point. I think I was in the hospital for over 30 days before I was out of intensive care. This thing was giving me trouble again. I had terrible pains in my stomach, and I started having these pains in my legs, it was ordinary to be that they're associated with colon cancer, these terrible pains that you can't do anything for them to make them go away in your legs. And I think in that course is probably when I got the pain pump, and all those times and dates run together, because I ended up having 6 surgeries, I think. And I went through chemo, and I went through radiation therapy. And in the course of the radiation therapy, it developed an abscess down in my pelvic region. And it killed the cancer, or prevented the cancer from spreading, but it caused an abscess which we are still fighting to this day. And Mayo agreed to take on my case, and then I went through another surgery it's about almost 2 years ago with Mayo. Dr. Young Fadok was a surgeon there, and she reactivated my colostomy and took down the ileostomy, and they worked on that abscess that I have in there the best that they could, but I still have that abscess to some degree in there, and I take antibiotics from time to time to work on the abscess. Otherwise, I feel very good. I have no reoccurrence of the cancer. I just praise God above that I was taken care of. In the time that I was diagnosed with the cancer, it was just unbelievable. It was really more than anything, it's been a wonderful spiritual experience for me. I didn't realize that I had so many friends that just acquired down through the years in business and so on. I got cards and letters and offerings of help or whatever I needed from all over the world, actually, from Australia, from Europe, from different people that I've been associated with down through the years. And my family, they I think the whole thing has been just what we were just able to do this without getting all upset, and I never was. I would tell you, I don't want to be preachy now or anything, but I had this experience. It was around Easter time, about this time of year, when I was diagnosed, And I happened to be walking through the house. Of course, I'm concerned about this. And on Channel 21, the Christian station, there was a program on there, and it was a little fictional play going on, and the scene was back in the time of Christ. The scene was these two guys were talking. He says, "Well, all I know is I saw this man, and this man was preaching to his friends, and he said that no matter what, I can take care of everything in this world. And so that's how much I can take care of you." And I'm paraphrasing it, but that's the gist of it. And that gave me the confidence that the Lord can take care of the whole world. He will take care of me. And from that point forward, I tell you, I have not worried or been concerned about it. I've been blessed with wonderful doctors and love from many, many people. And you know, we're here today. We every day gets better. I'm 74 years old, and I'm pretty active. We just got back from Hawaii. We go to Canada. We travel. I like to fish and bird hunt and that kind of thing, and fly model airplanes, and that's what we do. My sweetheart has got a cabin in Payson, and we go fishing and goofing around and things up there, and so I'm able to live a good life, even in view of the cancer. And I've got a colostomy. I have to go to the hospital once a week. They do take a blood test, and I have a deficiency of magnesium, which they say is common with people that are on colostomies. And that's really my only situation, but it's a heck of a way to lose weight, though, I'll tell you. It's a lot easier to eat lettuce or something, you know. But that's really basically it. The situation with the pain pump, I had so many holes within me. I had an ileostomy here, I've got a colostomy here, and the big, huge surgical field right here where they've cut me open 6 times. So there was no place to put the pain pump. So Dr. Stearns, the pain pump is right here in the middle, just like a headlight. I think normally they put it other places, but anyhow, this is where it's located. And I never think about it. I had a little bout with the motor. It was time to replace it, and it quit working, and it kind of threw me into a little bit of drug withdrawal. But when we put the new one in, I'm back as good as new, and it's good. You know, I don't have any pain in my legs at all, so I don't really even think about it. So that's pretty much my story. That's pretty much the way it is.